Hi guys, this is Sue from Miller's Laboratory. Thanks for stopping by. I have a little bit different sort of a video for you today, and I am going to be showing you a tip or giving you some instruction on something that I have been doing that I've never seen anyone else do. So I will get to that in just a moment. But first, I would like to just take a moment and say a great big thank you to a new friend of mine. Her name is Diane Hubert. She is from Pretty Pink Cottage, and she did me the nicest, hugest favor last week. She purchased one of my journals from my Etsy shop, and when she received it, she did a flip through on her YouTube channel. She has a lot of followers, and it caused a flood of people to start following me, to look at my shop, and I wound up selling 11 journals in 24 hours and pretty much sold right out of my stock. I was just completely humbled by the response that got. She said such nice things about my work, and I just appreciate her so very, very much. I want her to know how much I'm grateful to her. Anytime that someone who is successful and does as well as she does reaches out and helps a newbie, it's just such a beautiful thing, and I hope that someday I get the opportunity to do that for someone else. So Diane, thank you so much again. I'm posting her Etsy shop address, her YouTube link, and I think she might be on Facebook too. But I will put those below in the description. Please check her out and let her know that I sent you, because I want her to know how much I appreciate her. Okay, so the tip that I have for you today is for using pages in a journal that are too wide to fit in the journal. And so I have a little project here that I am working on, and I'm going to be making 2 of these little books. And I don't think my parents watched my YouTube channel, so I think I'm safe. But these are going to be for them. They are going to Scotland soon. It's kind of a dream trip for them, and I thought it would be fun to make them each a little journal that's based, a Scotland themed journal that they could either take with them if they want to, or they could use it to write memories in when they get home. So that's what I'm working on here. And so I've been gathering pages and such, and I thought, you know what, I do this all the time in my journals, and I've never seen anyone else do it. So as a thank you to Diane and all of the people who came to my shop and bought journals or looked at my videos, I just want to show some way of appreciating all of you. So I'm going to give you this little tip that I use. So this is the book, and I have already put some pages in here, and you can see that all of the pages that are in here pretty much fit really nicely in the book. Nothing's sticking out too much. For this type of a journal, like a travel journal, I don't like it to be messy and all coming out the sides. Sometimes I don't care, but for this I want it to be pretty neat. So if you have a larger paper and you want to include it in your book, I've got one right on the top here. Here's one that's really wide. You can create a flip out of it. So this is where I would stitch it into the signature, and then it would close like this, and then there would be a flip here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Another thing you can do is just cut it. You know, if you don't care what the edge looks like or anything, just cut the page so that it's the right size. Okay? But I'm going to just set this aside. What if you have something that you don't want to cut the edge off, or you don't want to fold it? So here's an example. This is an old antique math book. And I've torn the top off so that it's the right height. I don't care about that. But I love, love, love like this foxing, this discoloration that's on the edge of this, and I don't want to cut that off. So what I'm going to do, let me set this aside. is, this is a page that I took out of the little book. So I know that this is the size that I need. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line that up with my edge so that this is about the right size, or maybe even a little bit smaller. And I'm going to fold, so this is the folded side. This is the folded edge here. I'm going to fold that over to make the width the right width. Okay, I hope you can see that okay. So I've just folded that folded edge up, and then I'm going to turn it over and fold it back the other way too. Just want to get that crease nice and sharp there. All right. Now, I'm going back and forth a couple more times here. All right, so now we have, here's our page. We want it to open up like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and flip it to the inside. So we're going to flip. And reverse this fold in the center, and then fold both pages back again. And we're kind of making like a W here. So if I look from the top, you can see I've got this little W. I can still actually on this one see all of my text. And if I were to look at my book now here, it's going to fit in there. Okay. So we're going to take our glue, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue and glue this middle V part of the W closed. Let's press that closed. And now what we have is just a simple leaf again that opens, but there's this little stub in the middle. And what are we going to do with that? We're going to glue something else on there. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. And over here in my container, I have some of the things that I set aside to use in this book. Let's see here. So this is a pretty image of some thistle. I think I got this from New York Public Library. I just get a lot of things from there. Okay, so we're going to take, I'm not going to do it right now, but because I'm not sure this is what I want, how I want it to be, but we're going to put glue right along here or right along here. It doesn't matter. And we're going to glue this in. And now when that's glued, then it will be a third page in the center there. Okay, or it could be this way. Same thing. Okay. All right, let's do another one. Okay. This one I chose because, again, I like the edge of the page. This beautiful hymnal, old. And I didn't want to lose that. I love this curved edge here. Didn't want to lose that. You can see here that the edge in the middle is pretty tattered. So this is also a way you can use a page that's not in the greatest shape, because if we double that layer, it's going to make it stronger. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just laying my page on here so I know what size this should be as far as width, and I'm folding it over. And it tore a little bit there, but that's okay. That won't hurt anything. Okay. All right, we're just going to flip back over the other way, just as we did the other one. Back and forth a couple of times, just we have a nice crease there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to open our fold. Yeah, see how that's coming apart? That won't hurt anything. We can still use it. We're going to fold it the other way and then flip our pages back along that fold that we made. Get those guys in there. All right. So that's what our page is going to look like. Okay, and here's our little V, and you can see it's coming apart. As I said, that's a real tattery little page, but that's okay because it'll stick together. It'll make a really cool little, I think that's called a stub, and that when you glue something in like that, it's called tipping it in. And they used to do that in old books where they would tip in like a really beautiful colored illustration or something. Okay, so we'll just close that. Okay, and now we have the same thing here. Look at that nice little stub there. Plenty of room. If that's too wide, you can trim it off with your scissors too. You don't have to have it that wide, but I love how that looks with the stitch holes. This little book had actually been repaired and someone had stitched it like with regular thread, and I loved that. So there's that one. Another example here is this page, which I love because all around the text it's got this little red line, and it's a shame to lose that. And so I really wanted to try to keep that if I could, and so I want to try to keep the whole page centered on those lines. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I just cut this edge off to make it the right width. It would be like that. So the first thing I'm going to do with this one is it's a little bit too tall, and you can see it just fits if I just cut on either side of that red line. So I'm just going to bring in my little trimmer here, and we're just going to cut just inside or just outside that red line there. Well, that didn't do a very good job. Let's just get the scissors there. Okay, and we'll try the other one. I think this paper's just so old and fragile that it doesn't want to cut very well. There, that did better. Okay, let's get those out of here. All right, so now we're going to do similarly here. We are going to line this up so that the red lines are centered on the page, and then we'll know where to cut here. I'm just going to make a little mark with the pencil. So we're going to cut just a little bit outside of the edge of that red line. Alright, and now we should be able to just fold the other edge in the same spot, and it should be centered and ready to go into the book. Could have picked a different background here. It kind of blends in with the pages. I apologize for that. Okay, let me check my width and make sure it's okay. Oh, where'd my little sizer page go? No, we'll use the cover here. I don't know where it went. Yeah, see how that will fit now? You can see the red cover there. Okay, we flip. Let's get that fold good. Okay, then we want to basically flip that middle part up so it's reversed. So we fold the book back this way. This one has some serious creases in there going on. It's a tricky one. Come in here with my pencil and just push that out. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then double back here, like so. Oh, there we go. And we'll put the glue in, same thing. So I live in Michigan. I'm on the west side of Michigan near Lake Michigan, kind of in the middle of the state as far as north-south goes, or a little bit north of Muskegon. And it's been super hot here. And I live in an old house. We have no air conditioning. We have hot water heat, so there is never going to be any air, central air in our house. But we make do. We have a lot of shade trees, and my workshop here is in the basement, and it's always cooler down here, so I'm fortunate for that. All right, just kind of neaten that up a little bit. And there's our third one, another example for you. And here's our little stub. Okay. All right. I think you guys got the idea, but I just want to show you one more example. We don't necessarily have to fold this one, but sometimes you have a really beautiful digital Roxy Creations here. And I'm not going to use this one in that little book, but I just wanted to show you as an example for another book. Obviously, it's too wide for something like this, and I'm sure you would agree it would be a shame to cut that off like that. It's just too pretty. The edge is designed to be beautiful. I mean, it's a beautifully designed collage paper with a framing around the edge, and you just really wouldn't want to lose that. So what I would do here again is I would fold my edge up both sides. I'm going to go ahead and do it, even though it's not for this book. I'll find a use for it, because I just want you to see it doesn't take away from the prettiness of the paper to lose a little bit in the middle. There. See, it looks lovely. And you still have that beautiful edge. So, real good example there of another reason to use this tip. Now, when you go to sew your signatures together to create your book, let me just show you how this will work. I'll just grab a few pages out of here. All right, so we're going to start nesting these together. Put that one there. Look at that beautiful, beautiful Mary Queen of Scots. Just kind of lining those up. I'm not going to do the stitching here, I'm just showing you how it works, okay? We'll put this one here. All right. You know what? Let's wait. Let's leave that one out. Okay, now I'm going to grab one of the papers that I did. Here's the math book one, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put this in the signature like you do, okay? And then I have a choice. I'm going to put my next page in, and I can either put it in here, or I can put it in here. So either way, the stub is going to be pushed to the side, and this is still going to be your stitching line. So you just need to decide where in the signature you want to add that extra page. Okay, so if I put it like this, then when I open the book, the extra page will be here. Okay, but you could also just put it here. So you're basically going to push it to the side and ignore it while you're assembling your book. And then you can add in whatever it is you want to put there. An envelope is also a really great thing to put. Here's an envelope that I've made out of a map of Scotland. You can glue that in, and then it will, this one is a little bit too big, but you can glue it in there, and then you can open it from the side and put things in there. Okay, so alrighty, so that's how you do it. I think I covered everything. I hope that you found this to be a helpful tip. I hope it's something that you can use. If you do like it, please share it. I'd love a like on this video. I would love a comment if you have anything to say about it. And if you would share, I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful time with the rest of your summer. Take care. Bye.